So, hey, Sabrina, thanks for being with us today. Of course, you know who I am. We've been working together for some time now, but for those
Mhm.
that don't, my name is Steve Moreland. I'm the director at Success Publishing, and it's my privilege today to get a chance just to do an interview with Sabrina and kind of talk to you about this great accomplishment. I guess I would call it a benchmark or maybe a milestone in your life. What recently has happened for you, Sabrina?
Well, I got the inspiration to actually write this chapter. It was actually from Matt Morris. He actually sent something through the internet, and I applied to actually write the chapter. And it was kind of the most amazing thing because when I was applying, for some reason, my computer went haywire, and actually I had to start the process over.
Uh-huh.
And I almost did not reapply. That's like the most amazing thing. And so when I did apply, I didn't anticipate I would actually, you know, get that chapter to actually write.
Mhm.
And so I wanted to actually write about weight loss. That was like my number one thing to write about, because I thought maybe that could really inspire someone to lose weight.
Mhm.
But Steve, when I talked to you, you said, what was your greatest failure? And I had to go back to that dark place in my life,
Right.
the darkest place ever. And I never thought I wanted to go back to that place, but I did, and I did it for someone that was really struggling, and that's why I wrote my chapter.
Right.
I wrote it for not only that, to leave a legacy when I leave this world, I
Sure.
can live on in a different way, but I also wanted to give someone strength in a dark place. And so my chapter is about I woke up at a stream,
Uh-huh.
and I passed out in a stream.
Okay.
And so my chapter is called The Stream, but it was basically the stress that I endured uh, through a custody battle, through different business things.
They all kind of converged at one time.
Yeah, it all came down on me at once, and the thing is, I made the reason why it all came about. I was actually on the road to success,
Hmm.
and I got with one of my friends who actually inspired me to start doing real estate investing.
Hmm.
And so I chose to do that. I was doing really well. I was renting out some houses. I got my dream house, so to speak, and then I didn't anticipate haters would come out.
Right.
It's like, where in the world did these people come about? And so what happened was, you know, my renters didn't pay me. I lost my job. Um, and it was just, everything crashed all at once. And so here I was at the stream, and my stream was clogged up with leaves. And when I woke up, I realized my stream is clogged up. It was, my whole life was clogged up.
Sure.
And I realized I was only in one stream. And I thought about the book by Robert G. Allen, who
Hmm.
is a friend of mine. Um, and I thought about his book. I was like, I only have one stream of income here, and my one stream is so clogged up with just, and I went through, like in my chapter, like what made me get to this point.
Sure.
And so it was 2008. And so what is going on today? I am so grateful I picked this subject
Hmm.
rather than playing it safe and writing about weight loss. I'm so glad that I went deep inside of my failure and who I am, And actually, parts of my chapter does make me literally cry, because it's like, oh, because I literally lost everything.
Wow.
And so I realized what I did have. And it was at the stream why I realized why I kind of went through the things. It was really a self-awakening moment. And I think now what everyone's going through right now in this moment, it's kind of, they're going through the same thing.
Right.
And so yesterday I thought about it, and I was like, I am so grateful. I wrote about, and I mean, I'm so glad I wrote about what I wrote about, because I mean, it's really a vulnerable place to go to where I went. I mean, and a lot of my friends were like, do you really want to write about that? And I was like, yes, because this is where people need help.
Bingo. Right. That's perfect.
And so if I'm just like, if it just touches one person and changes one person's life, it's all worth it. So why I wrote my chapter was, one, I want to be the strength for someone that maybe they're going through a similar situation. When I went through my custody battle, and there is no book about that. I mean, I'm sure there is, but a lot of people really don't like to write about that subject because it's so sensitive. But
guess what? Almost what? 40, 50%, maybe more, marriages have some type of divorce in them. So that's a higher percentage of marriage relationships that have some type of custody situation going on. And you decided to talk about that sensitive subject that people are afraid. Like you said, your friends said, do you really want to talk about that? But you had the courage to talk about your vulnerability. And here's what you've done now. You've now opened a subject matter, a discussion topic that everyone else has familiar. I mean, I went through a really horrible custody battle too, So it doesn't matter if you're male or female, if you're mother or father, guess what? We all have children. And when our children are being disputed about, they don't get to live with us in our ordinary environment. And you talked about that, and then that event converged with the perfect storm in your life. And again, that's so beautiful that you took the time to write about this, because I don't think it's just going to impact one person's life. I think it's going to impact thousands of people's lives, because this is that subject matter that people avoid. They don't want to talk about, they want to hide. And guess what? When you don't act in a courageous fashion and other people are hurting, how are you going to help them come out of their dark place? Somebody's got to be the brave person, and you are that. So I applaud you for that. I have to see a copy of the book. So show the book off. Look at that. Awesome. And so you have been published now for a little while, and you've been seen now on 4 major media outlets. Well, actually probably more than that, but those 4 for sure: ABC, NBC, CBS, and Fox. You mentioned earlier the haters, and I'm sure there's some other people out there that are the opposite of haters, the good people that are the cheerleaders, right? So tell me about the cheerleaders that saw your book release. Maybe they came to your book launch, and tell me about that.
Well, my cheerleaders, one is Mike Causey, Commissioner of Insurance of the state of North Carolina. He's actually a good friend of mine. I helped him on his campaign for several years. We actually went to the same university, High Point University, so in North Carolina. And then my good friend Lisa Sheridan, she's an animal rights activist. And she said, Sabrina has always been a strong, magical soul with a very empathic heart that led her and me to be drawn together. She exudes knowledge and is unstoppable. I'm so proud of her journey in life and what she is doing now. She simply amazes me every day. Wow. And she really is an amazing person.
Yeah. So you have a lot of really incredible people in your life. You've now checked off that, what I see is the people that write the top 10 bucket list. You've
Mm-hmm.
now checked off that one. What does it feel like now being a published author?
It feels really amazing, and I'm so glad. I mean, I have other books, but this one is really, I mean, it's on Amazon. It has the networks on the front. I mean, it's totally taken me to a new level.
Sure.
And I think people take me more seriously, you know.
Sure.
But it's also inspired me to write other books as well. And I have some other subjects that I do want to write about.
Give me an idea.
Well, one is weight loss, and you know, I really, that was never really an important part of my life, but it was back in 2015 when I actually met Matt, and I went to a meeting. Some of the people inspired me to actually focus on weight loss a little bit, and so as I continued to go to the gym every day, I actually, you know, I started feeling better, and I realized I really did have a weight problem. It was never really anything I really thought about, but I actually kind of got really, you know, I don't want to say obsessed with it, but more passionate about it.
There you go. Right. Right.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to that in the future. And so the book that you've done right now, you've been launched on the major networks. You had a launch party along the way, opened up your books. You know, if I remember, was it your daughter that was videoing the book launch, the opening of the books when you got them? If I remember right.
Yes, yes, she was actually my volunteer since we've
Sure.
been.
So,
Mhm.
so what does she think about her mom being a published author? How does that feel?
I think she's excited about it.
Right.
You know, like today I was getting ready and I was like, I was talking about my interview with you, and she goes, "You're really going to be on CBS and ABC and Fox?" And I'm like, "Yes."
Uh-huh.
So,
You know, because I'm a parent too, and so you know, my children are 24 and 27, and
mhm,
I've noticed, like all good parents do, is that we end up setting the standard for our children. And
mhm,
you know, if we encourage them right, it's not about them trying to be who we are. It's about them being who they are, but exceeding what they see that we can do. And
mhm,
so I've seen that in my two, that you know, when they see dad be able to do this, then you know, and then I encourage them, don't do what I do, don't think like I do, be you. But if I can do
mhm,
this in my life and I can achieve this next level, if I can become a legacy and publish, you know, most people, if they ever get published, it's a dream, but they never get it
mhm.
done. And those that do, they're usually 65 or 70 writing their memoirs. Okay. So,
Yeah.
you know, you've done this, like you said, you've already published another book. You've got other books that you're going to publish in the future. What you're doing is you're setting such an extraordinary example. You're setting proof that, hey, if mom can do this, mom
Mhm,
can move to the next level. Mom can decide to, like you said, when you decide to become passionate about your health and your diet and your fitness, you know,
mhm,
all those things, we train our kids not with what we say, but with the actions that we do. So I applaud you as an extraordinary parent on top of
mhm,
being an extraordinary business lady. So, wow. What's
mhm.
next for you? What do you want to do with, you know, the future? Because, you know, you're going to impact so many people's lives. Um, what is that passion of that obsession, let's use that word, what is that thing inside of you that you see down the road that you're going to have to work really hard for, but you know you're going to reach?
Well, it's hard to say right now, but I mean, from a real estate standpoint, I'm looking more on an investment side from that standpoint. With my book, I do want to impact, especially right now with the coronavirus, everyone's kind of down and out. I just pray that my book will give them encouragement and hope, because a lot of people are at ground zero here and they do not know what to do.
Right.
And in my chapter, I have 7 steps to bring you out of out of when you feel you're at rock bottom, I have 7 steps that can totally change your life.
I love that. Everybody likes to have a system, and you've got 7.
Mm-hmm.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Perfect. Well, I know, in fact, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take your press release, and we want to give you a copy of this interview, and in the description will be your press release that actually was released on all the media networks. I think it was over 50 different networks that picked it up, but made these main 4 that are on the book there, ABC, NBC, CBS, and Fox. We want everybody to be able to read your press release. It'll also have your link in there that will allow people to jump onto Amazon, as well as your, I believe we put your website in there. Isn't your website? No,
yes, my website is on there. And also you can actually download a free chapter off my website, which is www.sabrinahenne, that's SABRINAHENNE.com.
Okay.
Um,
We'll put that on there as well in the description in case someone doesn't just, type it into their search bar. We'll be sure that they can get there so they can take a look at your chapter and download that for free and get a copy of your book. So outstanding. Well, I appreciate you taking time. I know even though we're all, sheltering in place right now, I know my schedule's been crazy busy. I know yours is as well. So thank you for taking time. And I just wish you all the best. And I know that when we check back with you down the road, you're going to have made such a difference in people's lives because of your courage to be vulnerable. And, you're just, you're an extraordinary person in every way. And it's my pleasure to have got a chance to know you.
Thank you so much, Steve. And I appreciate your impact upon my book as well, for letting me reach down in who to go into my failure, my real failure. And I think that's what made my chapter in my book like the strength that it does have to impact the world.
Outstanding. All the best to you. Take care.
Thank you, Steve. Bye.